I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm playing a new game, first impressions are everything. Because I value my time so greatly, it's seldom I ever give games a second chance whenever they fail to impress me quickly. However, sometimes the single best experiences out there are also the ones you eventually come back to. And in the case of Pillars of Eternity, that's exactly what happened. Every time I personally tried to play the game, I immediately became frustrated with the overbearing and slow combat, lack of voice acting, and overall a world and story that was utterly confusing with so many names and places or references that I had no information on yet. But eventually, due to a lack of other titles to play, I finally sat down one evening and decided I would play this game for at least 5 hours to see where it went. And well, the rest is history. Although the game starts slow, a large reason for this is the amount of lore and history that it just dumps on you. At first, you have no idea what is going on, who any of the gods are, or what all of these events even mean. But as you slowly spend more and more days on this adventure, everything starts to make more sense. And when it does, you discover that you are playing a game with one of the best worlds and stories the gaming medium has ever seen. And I don't say that lightly. And Pillars of Eternity is without a doubt, in my opinion, one of the most interesting universes and narratives I've ever seen in an RPG. Focused on souls and the literal hierarchy and history of the gods themselves, the narrative of this first game and its world tackles so many utterly fascinating themes that I don't otherwise think about much. Just know that if you do spend the time getting past the rough start in this title, you will be rewarded with top-tier world building and lore that makes the lack of voice acting a non-issue almost, as you get fully swept into reading paragraphs of text about fake events that still seem so real. And not only that, but the more you play the game too, the better and better the combat starts to get, with more access to multiple spells per rest and a full party of 6 characters that can unleash some truly devastating combos that fill the screen with particles everywhere. The combat is rich in depth and freedom of expression, and there are many fights that will be genuinely challenging to overcome on the higher difficulties, requiring you to use everything you have in your tool bag. It's the kind of system that at first is overbearing and cumbersome, but over time blossoms into an addicting loop where you will be giddy waiting for the next big engagement. And along the way too, you will be forced into a world that is utterly captivating at every step, where reading random lore dumps becomes no longer tedious and instead truly interesting dives into a culture built atop the echoes of the past. So if you haven't played Pillars of Eternity yet, or you're like me and have tried it but hated it, I urge you to give this game a shot, because not only will it make the second game so much better, but you will be treated to my favorite RPG story and world since Mass Effect, a juggernaut of writing and world building that never got the love it deserves. The type of game that will make you instantly buy any other game in the same universe despite how bad it is, because the world is just that good and you'll be begging for more.